those conspiracies that you're watching, the truths that you're learning about, it's not that deep. It really isn't that deep. You need to get off the internet. I'm not saying that what you're learning isn't true and isn't real, but that's not the center of your world. You should be focusing on yourself. You should be focusing on your goals. You should be focusing on your life, just like the old days when people had no idea what was going on the other side of the world. They only knew what was going on in their neighborhood because they didn't have TVs, they didn't have news, they just talked to each other. Your only concerns, unless it is part of your life purpose, and you know it is part of your life purpose to seriously take action on making change on a global level for global issues and political issues, then you need to focus on yourself. You need to focus on your life purpose, and as selfish as it may seem in your mind, it's not selfish. You know what? Who cares if it is selfish? Because it's your life. This is your life, and you are not doing anything to help anyone if you are sitting in your room, scrolling on your phone, looking at all the truths and the people that are in charge doing bad things, and just moping around and feeling bad about it. You're not doing anything for that. All you're doing is remaining in a negative, low vibrational energy, which is actually manifesting more negative things to happen in the world. Because imagine, think of all the people that are doing the same thing as you, watching the news, getting in this negative, low vibrational state. You're all manifesting to remain in a collective, low vibrational state, which is keeping these bad things happening on a global level. So, the best thing you can do for the community and for yourself is to maintain a high vibrational state, which is not gonna happen when you're consuming low vibrational content. Yes, it's okay to remain informed. Oh my gosh, sorry, my throat. It's okay to remain informed and to know the truth and to consistently, because this is the kind of world we live in. You have the news. You got to stay educated. You know what I mean? But do not let that be an anchor. Do not let that be the driving force in your life of, oh my gosh, this is the first thing I need to worry about. This is the only thing I need to worry about. Or, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Making it the center of your life by making all your decisions based on, oh my God, what is happening in the world? Oh my God, what am I going to do? Oh my God, worrying. Low vibrational energy. If you want to travel. It is never going to be a good time to travel. That's the truth. There's always something happening in the world. If you want to stay at home, fine. That's fine. Doesn't matter. If you want to prepare for conspiracies, things that you think may happen based on what you're learning, okay, do that. But I'm not saying it's not bad to prepare and to stay informed, but don't let that be the center of your life, because I don't believe it's anyone's life purpose to remain in that. It's just not. Informing other people is fine, but if you're purposely putting this low vibrational music, make it like a huge deal, at putting all these pictures that make it, there's a different way you can frame information so that it doesn't seem like the whole world is ending when someone watches it. I'm not saying you have to put fireworks and rainbows, but if you're one of the people that are informing others of things that are going on in the world, of things that normally are framed in a low vibrational negative way, you need to learn to reframe that. And the only way you're going to be able to reframe that in a realistic way, and not in a low vibrational way, but also not necessarily in a positive way either, because obviously these things that are happening are not positive, so you don't have to be optimistic about it, but being realistic in the sense that you are seeing it for its wholeness, for the darkness and for the light. The only way you're going to be able to reframe your content that way and your information that way, the way you express your information, is to reframe your own mind, because it all starts within. You can't change external reality if you're not changing your internal reality first. You need to change your internal reality first, or else you can't do anything. So the things that you post, the information that you spread, the way that you do things is a direct reflection of the way you do things in your mind, the way you think in your mind. Are you thinking from a negative standpoint, or are you thinking from a realistic standpoint? And a realistic standpoint is both positive and negative. It's the wholeness of it. It's both the light and the dark. And you're able to maintain a high vibrational state through not necessarily thinking, oh, everything is neutral, but thinking, okay, here's dark, but here's also the light aspect to it. And this does not affect how I live my life. And you do need to be a little selfish at times, because this is your life. Are you really going to waste your time? How many years, how many months are you going to waste just worrying? Because then you can't focus on yourself. You can't focus on your goals. And if you can't focus on yourself, you can't grow. And if you can't grow, you can't pursue your life purpose and integrate your soul's energy into your life rather than your ego. And if you're not pursuing your life's purpose, the whole reason you came on this earth is for your life purpose. Your soul is the map, and you're meant to pursue your life purpose. If you're not doing that, there are how many people in the world that need you for a specific cause, and you are depriving them of that opportunity and of what is necessary to them at that point in their life, because you're delaying what you're meant to be doing by worrying about things. You have your whole life. Think of how much time you have in a day. Think of how much time you have if you were off that phone and not worrying about things. All that time and all that energy and all that attention can go into pursuing your life purpose. The whole point you're on this earth is to pursue your life purpose. That can be anything. That is the only thing that is going to truly fulfill you in life. Yes, there are side quests that you can do, like hobbies and friends and etc., but the main source of fulfillment in your life will be your life purpose, because that is what your soul is calling you to do, is called to do. That is what your intuition is trying to get you to do. And you can't listen to your intuition if you're stuck in a low vibrational negative state. To reframe the way you express what you know, you have to reframe your mind. And to reframe your mind, you have to be able to see the light alongside the darkness, because that is what wholeness is. If you're only looking at the dark aspect of everything, you are not going to be able to process life properly, to process yourself properly. You're not going to be able. How can you see yourself in a positive light if everything else you see is in a dark light? You know what I mean? How are you going to love yourself if you don't love the world? And yeah, you do need to love the world. You need to love what you have. Because if you do not love what you have, you are not going to be able to change it, because you're changing it out of hatred instead of, and out of negative energy instead of love. For example, if you're fat and you hate yourself, you're going to change out of self-hatred, right? You're going to lose weight out of self-hatred. And then once you've lost the weight, you're still not going to really enjoy. You're going to be insecure still, because it was never the weight, really. You were approaching it the wrong way. So now you have to reframe your mind even after losing the weight, because you're still looking at yourself in the dark aspect instead of the light aspect, instead of loving yourself. If you're fat and you start as a fat person by loving yourself and think, I love myself so much that I know that I deserve to be better than this, to be more fit, to be healthy, to look the way I want to look, because that's how much I love myself. And then you lose the weight. By the time you lose the weight, you're going to love yourself so much. Not because you look a certain way, not because your ego is happy, but because you are truly fulfilling yourself. Because you just told yourself, yeah, I love myself so much that I improved how I looked, because I know that I deserve to feel my best. That's the kind of framing that you should be doing in your daily life. If you're not thinking, I love this world and I love these people so much that I know they deserve better than this, that I know we deserve to be happy despite what's going on in the world, everything you do will naturally be in a higher vibrational energy and will naturally help the collective energy rise up. Because you are in a high vibrational energy. And even though some people may think, oh, this is so selfish. You don't care about politics. You don't care about this. It's different caring about politics, caring about worldly concerns, and pouring your energy into it. You can still care. And it's not even about caring. It's about just staying informed and knowing, like, yes, this matters. I care about this, but not enough to sacrifice myself for it and sacrifice my entire life into worrying about it. Because all you're doing, the whole point of news is to keep you in a low vibrational state so you don't take action. And no, I'm not talking about action in changing the world. I'm talking about action in changing yourself. Because if you can't change yourself, what makes you think it's even possible to change the world? That's the thing. People that can't change themselves don't think it's possible to change the world because they're not even capable of changing themselves. You can't change what you have within you. Forget about the external world. Like, what do you mean? So you need to focus on yourself. Even if that makes other people think that you're selfish, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because what they're doing, watching the news and just pouring into negative energy and not really doing anything with themselves, that's worse for the world than what you're doing, pursuing your life purpose and making change within yourself so that you can help other people. Even if your life purpose is literally doing sports. Let's say your whole purpose in life is to sing, to be a singer. That changes people's states and energy levels. You are single-handedly helping change the world through embodying a higher energy. That's powerful. If you think that you can't do anything with everything you're seeing on the news, and not even just the news, everything you're seeing with these conspiracy theories, if you're just watching that stuff, if you're just listening to that stuff and you're not doing and you don't think that anything can be done, the literal most important thing that can be done is for you to just set that aside, stay informed, yes. Don't just block it out, because that's not seeing the truth for what it is. That means you're blocking out the darkness and only choosing to see the light. That is delusional and unrealistic. Being realistic is seeing both sides, the darkness and the light. That means staying informed, knowing the bad things that are happening in the world, but choosing to embody a higher vibrational energy and pursuing so that you can pursue your life purpose and fulfill your soul's destiny, because you know that your life purpose is the best thing you can provide for other people. Whatever your life purpose is, that is the best you can do in this lifetime. Anything else you can do, no matter how much you study for it, no matter how much energy you pour into it, you will never be the best at that if that is not your life purpose. And you will be able to tell. Things get very difficult when you try to do things that are not your life purpose. When you try to put all your energy into one thing and try to choose that as your life purpose, it will become very difficult to continue down that path, and very unfulfilling, honestly. Subtly unfulfilling. Maybe you might realize it when you're 50, 60 that, oh, I'm actually not fulfilled. Maybe you don't have the awareness of that yet. But the only thing that will fulfill you in life fully is your life purpose, pursuing your life purpose. If you were put on this earth to be the best dang volleyball player there is, you will. You will be the best dang volleyball player there is. And it won't be as hard as anyone else doing it that isn't meant for that. because that's what you were born for. That's what you were made for. Can you imagine? That's what your soul was made for. You are perfectly fit. It's like a perfectly fitting puzzle piece. Obviously, for anyone else to get on your level, it's difficult, because that's just not what they're meant for. Yes, you can pursue things as a hobby. That's a different story than being the best. That's a very different story. So the best thing you can do, single-handedly, pursue your life purpose. That is what you were made for. That is what will cure you of this negative energy, this loop that you're in of thinking, I can't do anything about what I know. Like, what am I supposed to do? The world is crumbling at my feet. I can't do anything about it. Let's stop there. You can. Your life purpose. Focus on your life purpose. Stay in a high vibrational energy so you can connect with your intuition and connect with your soul, and don't let your ego get in the way, and dismantle your ego so that it doesn't get in the way and try to sabotage what you're building. And whatever you're meant to do on this earth is the best that you can do. The best thing you can do in your entire life. Forever. That's not going to change. The whole reason that the reason that they aren't blocking this information, if you're curious, the reason they aren't blocking the information when a couple of years ago it would have 100% gotten you banned for expressing this information online, is because it is part of this societal programming and conditioning and control, so that you stay in a low vibrational state and literally become numb to action. You can't take action, because when you're in a low vibrational state, you can't take action. You can't. It's like you're paralyzed. So when you're consuming all this information, and notice how it's always, the most popular information is always the ones that have the dark music behind it, the dark pictures, the dark framing, because it serves a purpose in the agenda. It serves a purpose in what the people in control are trying to do, because you're collectively manifesting darker energy. That's just what's happening. So to stop that, get off your dang phone. Yes, stay informed, learn more, but don't let that get in the way of your life purpose. Your life purpose is your main focus. Your soul is your main focus. You need to make sure your soul is in control, not your ego. Not even your mind, because your mind will get you, and your emotions will get you thinking, oh my gosh, worrying. Excuse me. Don't let the darkness swallow your light. There is darkness and there is light. You accept that. That's being realistic. Only seeing the light blocking out the darkness, that's delusional and unrealistic. Only seeing the darkness and blocking out the light, that's also delusional and unrealistic. You need to see both sides, accept it as wholeness, and then you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Truly. And I know this because I have experienced seeing only the light blocking out the darkness. I was delusional. I was like jumping on clouds. It was amazing. But it wasn't real. And obviously the veil fell, and I woke up and I was like, oh shit. And then I saw only the darkness and I blocked out the light. The world is ending. We live in hell. Oh my God. And then the veil lifted. And then I finally saw everything in its wholeness. Oh, so this is how it is. What am I going to do about it? And now that I've seen all of this and I know all of this, I feel really deeply unfulfilled. Why do I feel deeply unfulfilled? Oh, because I'm connected to my soul and I've dismantled the ego and dismantled the illusions, but now I'm not taking any action. I'm not pursuing my life purpose. And none of my hobbies are truly fulfilling me. They're fun, but they're not fulfilling me deeply on a soul level because I'm not pursuing my life purpose. And now, what am I going to do? And then you can easily get into a negative, low vibrational state just by thinking like that. What am I going to do? I can't do anything. Now, I have to let my soul guide me and pursue my life purpose. However messy it is, doesn't matter. I am so bored now, knowing so much, that the only choice I have now is to pursue my life purpose, because my brain is literally exploding from information, and I don't even care at this point how messy I look, whether I have makeup on to cover my spots or not. I don't care, because literally I have to stay locked up in my room if I'm not doing this stuff. Because one walk on the beach, and my brain is already twisting and turning, and I'm thinking like crazy. And I have to go run to my car so I can film this video, because it's like so many things are happening in my brain, because this is my life purpose. And this is the only thing that can truly fulfill me in life. Hold on, I'm about to sneeze. Bless you. Thank you. It's the only thing that can fulfill me in life. Yes, I will start going to the gym. I will even, oh boy, I'm about to sneeze again. Excuse me, I'm about to. Bless you. Though I am going to supplement my life purpose, doing things that will allow me to pursue my life purpose further, such as going to the gym, because I need that discipline built up into my life. And in order to get that discipline, I know I have to go to the gym because I fell off. And I know that the gym caused me to build up extreme discipline in the past. So I'm going to do that again. I'm even going to play volleyball again, just for fun, not even competitively, because I need hobbies so that I can feel good and feel like I'm enjoying life and nothing is that serious. Nothing is not that serious, but too serious. Not taking life too seriously, enjoying life. Maybe even learning some pottery, maybe learning another language, doing fun things so that I can enjoy my life and not just think, oh, I only need to pursue my life purpose, that's it. And then creating a negative relationship with my own life purpose, because I'm choosing only to focus on, I need to do this. And instead of supplementing it with, okay, I'm going to do this and pour all my energy into this. If I still have excess energy, I'm going to remember, and these things don't even take energy. When you're playing volleyball for fun, it doesn't take that much energy, mental energy, because you're not trying to get the best you can. You're just doing it for fun, doing things for fun, lighthearted, less thinking, less thinking, more doing. If you're thinking, oh, only focus on the life purpose, that's going to burn you out, because you're taking it way too seriously, because your life purpose is a serious thing. You have to take that seriously to progress, to get better. You do have to take it seriously to fully pursue what you were meant to pursue on this earth. So you can either dilly-dally on your life purpose and then you're fine, or you can fully pursue your life purpose and then also make sure to supplement fun stuff into it too. That's why all the really rich people, all the rich business owners, they're out partying too, because it's balance. Work hard, play hard. That's how it goes. So yeah, I think what I explained is pretty simple. Maybe not easy to execute, but simple to understand, hopefully. If not, questions, put them in the comment section. I will answer all the questions in video form, because I have a lot of knowledge. I have a lot of knowledge, and I'm ready to express it, because can you believe the amount of healing and inner work I have done? I'm not going to talk about myself too much, but the amount of inner work, I'm literally inner work final boss. The amount of inner work I have done to reach a point in my life, and the amount of spiritual work to reach a point in my life where I am so bored. I have nothing much really left to heal, honestly. Wounds healed. Now, all I have to do is build, because you can't build if you're down here. This is your baseline. All these unhealed wounds keep you lower and lower on the, what is this called? On the scale. Keep you lower and lower. So you're not at baseline. You're here because you have all these unhealed wounds. Then you heal. You get to the baseline. And this can happen. It's very complicated to say, because You can be in both states at once. You can have these unhealed wounds, but also be at baseline and build. You can do things. The scale wasn't really a good example, but you can have these unhealed wounds. Let's say this cup here. Cup full of unhealed wounds, and then another cup to build stuff. But the thing is, no, that's not a good example either. Let's just say you have these unhealed wounds, and then, I have a good example. Okay, you have these unhealed wounds in your garden that will be like poisoned, infected bushes. What you want to do is you want to build a new garden. You want to put some flowers, pretty flowers, a tree that's going to grow into this huge thing which resembles your life purpose. You don't have room to build if you aren't taking things away. So you need to take away the bushes, release the societal programming and conditioning that is negatively impacting you. You need to release the unhealed wounds, and that takes time. So sometimes you're going to take one piece and then you're going to put a flower there. You're going to take one piece, you're going to put a flower there. Or you're just going to lock in, take all the pieces, not all of them, because you can't heal everything at once. Take a big chunk of bushes, pull them from the roots, heal your wounds, unlearn the societal programming and conditioning, and then you're going to put a whole thing of flowers, whole field. And then you're going to do it again. And that's how it goes in cycles until you have no more infected plants left. And then all you have, and sometimes you're not going to have energy to put new flowers there. You're just going to pull the bush and then just chill. Gardener's taking a break. And then you're just going to chill, and you're going to pull more, and then you're going to chill, pull more, chill, maybe put some flowers in. And then you're going to heal so much to a point where it's like, oh, look at all the space I have. Boom! Big tree. Now you have all this space to put the big tree in. So you can take care of the big tree because you're not worrying about these infected bushes, and they're not taking up the space that the big tree belongs in. And the big tree resembles your life purpose, but it can also resemble something major in your life that is meant to fulfill you. There can be a lot of trees. There's the one golden tree, that's your life purpose. But if you have these unhealed wounds and this societal conditioning and brainwashing, that's and not just brainwashing in the sense of like, oh, the government's brainwashing you. No. I'm talking about like people brainwashing you into believing that you are not worthy. People brainwashing you into believing that you do not deserve love. Stuff like that. Because that kind of is brainwashing. That's limiting beliefs. The point is, don't let negative energy rule your life and overpower you, and overpower your mind, and overpower your life's purpose, and overpower your own soul's energy. See the darkness for what it is. See the light for what it is. See reality in its wholeness. Focus on your life purpose. Fulfill your soul's mission here on earth. Supplement it with some fun stuff that you just genuinely enjoy, because life isn't that serious, and you don't have to just build serious things such as just focusing on your life purpose. Do some fun stuff too. Have fun. It's not that deep. Some things are deep, but it's not that deep. It's not deep enough for you to sacrifice your time and energy to focus on that and sacrifice yourself for that, rather than focusing on what will truly fulfill you and what will help serve other people too, and help the world's consciousness rise up and energy rise up. Focus on that. Focus on what you can do, and what you can do is help yourself. Focus on yourself so that you can pursue your life purpose, and that can help others, and that can naturally help the world raise in energy. Okay?